I assume that you're coming here from my last video, the why season 14 was basically just like a filler season, and you're curious to see how the season would have gone or could have gone without the many filler episodes that it had. If you're not coming from that video, I do implore you to watch that video because it is kind of an essential viewing for this one, and if you are just stubborn and don't want to do that, what can I say? But before we begin, I also want to give a special shout out to all of my supporters on Patreon. Guys, yeah, I keep repeating myself, but it's really true. This month and the next month, you've been helping a lot. You're going to help a lot just by being there. Thank you all so much. So basically, we have season 14. I'm gonna ask, what if we just take out all of the filler episodes? Let's see what will happen. The first episode then would have been the ball, which is great because not only do the queens get to show off as many looks as possible, which is a goal for these newer seasons, but we also follow the sadly gone trend of the first episode being a drag on a dime-esque challenge. You know, make something out of nothing challenge. I don't change the placements. Willow wins, June goes home, everything else is the same. The things that the queens did for their episode 1 and 2 performances could have been used for like a Meet the Queen special, where each queen performed their number in front of a crowd. Episode 2 is the first group acting challenge, so we're following a trend of Drag Race, you know, challenges back when Drag Race was still good. We get the same outcome, and sadly Kornbread in this timeline does get injured as well, so she's also out of the competition, as is Alyssa, sadly. Again, filler is gone, but the favoritism and the mistreatment is still here, for the most part. You'll see when it's necessary to kind of ignore it. Episode 3 is the infomercials episode. Everything's the same, Bosco wins. Episode 4 is also the same as originally, with sadly Jorgeous winning and sadly Maddy going home. We're going quickly over these simply because we don't have much to talk about. You know, we're simply copying the placements. Now, episode 5 is our second big change from, you know, the first 2 episodes not being there. We don't have a Daytona Wind episode. We could have had the Daytona Wind episode where Kerri would have gone home with, you know, Angeria, Deja, and Kerri being in the bottom 3, but since that was played as a filler episode, yeah, we're, you know, ignoring that one. However, we do get the girl groups challenge where, again, Kerri goes home. These 2 episodes are very much so interchangeable when it comes to the storylines and the placements. Kerri would have gone home in either of the 2. In the first to Deja, in the second one to Jasmine. In the first one, Camden wins, in the second one, Daya wins. Either way, a queen that the production never planned on winning would win this episode, and instead of the episode focusing on their triumph, it can focus on being Kerri's farewell episode, effectively taking away the spotlight from the 2 possible winners that, again, would never actually get to win the season. What I'm trying to say is that it doesn't matter which one you keep, but since the girl groups episode wasn't a filler originally, I'm keeping that one. It just makes more sense. The next big change is the Snatch Game episode. So we're not doing none of that everybody's in the bottom nonsense, we're giving the queens actual placements. So obviously Deja wins, that does not change. Now, Angeria said that the edit made it seem like she was doing only one thing the entire time. Now, given that Ru was laughing at her and also at Lady Camden the most out of that Snatch Game, the 2 of them are the high queens. Like, guys, let's be honest. Willow, Bosco, and Jasmine were just horrendous in the Snatch Game, so also copying from the outcome of the Lip Sync Smackdown, Bosco and Jasmine are in the bottom 2, and Bosco stays here. It's important to also mention now that the chocolate twist is not present this season, because stop it. Yes, it brought us memes, but it also brought nothing good to the season. We're at episode 7, and we have 7 queens, 2 filler episodes and 1 non-filler episode. In order to avoid a top 5 finale, which I really do not want to have, we're making all of these episodes competitive episodes. Firstly, the Mulan Ru episode has got to be there for the sheer storyline of it all, and we need a Rusical in this season. We have not had one yet. The episode goes the same way that it does originally, except for the fact that Bosco actually goes home this time. Some may say thank God, I may be one of those people, or I may not, we may never know. Episode 8, thus, is a top 6 roast episode. Firstly, the mini challenge is won by team Camden, Willow, Daya. We don't have Bosco anymore, so we need to find another person to win this challenge. The next queen with the best critiques is Lady Camden, effectively placing Willow as high, Angeria is safe, and obviously Camden winning. Daya, Deja, and Jorgeous were originally in the bottom 3, but we're not doing none of that now. Drag Race really had a season of fillers and just had to do damage control by doing a bottom 3 and eliminating 2 people, and we do not have to do that now. Daya got the least negative critiques out of the 3, so she's just low, while Jorgeous takes out Deja in the lip sync. Listen, either one of the 2 could go home, they will never win the season, but I just know Ru would never eliminate Jorgeous on only her 3rd bottom 2 placement. Like, when she's on her 5th, we'll talk. So, our top 5 episode, the 9th episode in this season, does not have Bosco here, but does have Jorgeous. Originally, Camden won and Daya was high, with Bosco being saved from the bottom 2 placement and an imminent elimination. No, guys, seriously, like, she got more negative critiques than Angeria in that episode. She should have been in the bottom 2, but then she would have been saved for like the 2nd time, and that would have been her 5th time in the bottom 2, so, you know. But I digress. Jorgeous, I don't think would be low for the same reasons as Bosco was originally, but I do think that she would have performed better than both Angeria and Willow, with her verse being her weakest point. So yeah, the 5th person in this top 5, this time being Jorgeous, is still low, but this time she's low for legitimate reasons. Going into the finale, let's say VanMichaels style. We could leave Angie and Willow as a double Jeté and just have a top 5 finale. If that happens, my point that we would have had the same outcome without the filler episodes still stands, and I've made my point. But since we've already come this far, let's go all the way and make this episode also a competitive episode. Thus, Angeria and Willow lip-sync in that bottom 2. And, guys, you know what's coming. Yes, in a world where there are no filler episodes in season 14, Willow probably actually goes home right before the finale. Listen, I bet that had season 6 or season 7 had as many filler episodes as, well, season 14, Daya or Katya would have won those seasons, but that did not happen. So yeah, in a world where RuPaul is not money hungry and the producers don't have poor organizational skills, Willow does not win season 14. Now listen, what they also could have done for this episode is have a top 5 makeover challenge and then a top 4 non-competitive episode, after which Willow would probably win the season. So again, if they had just stuck to the original format, we would have had the same outcome. But yeah, I cannot add any new episodes. That's for the What If I Had Produced Season 14 video, which is coming sometime in the future. I don't know. I'll do it when I have the time to do it. So yeah, we're saying goodbye to the actual winner of season 14 in Willow. So episode 10 is the reunion, episode 11 is the finale with the classic lipstick for the crown format. No matter how Jorgeous does, she's not winning the season, so let's immediately take her out. The winner of the season would be either Angeria, Daya, or Camden. So this is the table of the track records. It's not final, because we would also include the points from the top 4 lip-syncing for the crown finale. However, now Camden does have the best track record, and she would have had the same rise to the top storyline as she did originally, but as we saw, Drag Race just did not care. Basically, no fillers, Camden has the same storyline, Camden still is the best competitor, but Drag Race still does not care about Camden, so again, my point is made, but yeah, Camden is probably not winning this season 14 either. Daya was never eliminated in this reality, but she still had a streak of 4 safe placements in a row and only 1 win, similarly as what happened originally, and then with her storyline with Jasmine, the main storyline of season 14, was still kept intact. Most of the episodes that were important for that storyline are still there. Daya was a fan favorite too, so she could be the winner of this season. However, Angeria I think would have been the most likely winner. Firstly, she had a streak of 6 above safe placements, so 2/3 of the season she was in the top 3. Yes, she had a fizzle out storyline with her edit and her performance in the competition, with only 1 maxi challenge win at the beginning of the season. But that was literally what Willow did originally, and she won the season. So yeah, Without all the nonsense filler, with minimal adjustments that we had to make, Angeria, Paris, VanMichaels, Jean, Spears, Carter, Knowles would have won season 14. And that's it. That's the video. Do you think that the season would have been more enjoyable than the original one? Would this winner have made more sense than the original winner? Sound off in the comments, and thank you for watching.